Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we bring you the latest and most intense updates about Sheikh Hamdan and his family. Faiz Russian and Song, Wavy, and Faiz Russian and Faiz Russian and Faiz. If you are new here and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe now and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any important update. Faiz Way and Faiz Way. In my last video, Love is Not Love, a poem that will change how you see love forever. A letter to the woman I want to marry. I only need your yes, I do. I write this not as a prince, not as a dreamer chasing fantasies, but as a man who finally understands what his heart has been whispering to him for years. A man who has walked through silence, through ambition, through crowded rooms and empty nights, searching for a feeling that never truly arrived until you quietly stepped into my world without announcement, without noise, without trying to change anything, and yet somehow you changed everything simply by existing in the same air that I breathed. And I still remember the first moment I noticed the way your presence softened the edges of my restless mind, like calm water smoothing the sharp stones of a riverbed. And I remember thinking how strange it was that peace could come disguised as a smile, a glance, a small shared silence that said more than any conversation ever could. And from that moment onward, my days began to carry a different rhythm. My nights began to hold a different kind of hope, not the loud, hopeful kind that burns quickly and fades, but the quiet hope that grows roots and becomes part of who you are without asking permission. I have lived in motion for most of my life, chasing horizons, achievements, expectations, responsibilities that never sleep, learning how to lead, how to protect, how to stand tall even when storms gather behind the eyes. And somewhere along that journey I learned how to be strong in ways the world respects, but I never learned how to be soft in ways the soul needs, until you taught me without teaching, simply by being patient with my silences, gentle with my flaws, understanding of the weight I carried even when I never spoke its name aloud. And suddenly I realized that love is not loud fireworks or dramatic promises written in the sky. Love is the way your presence slows my breathing when the world presses too hard against my chest. Love is the way your laughter finds its way into my thoughts, even in rooms where you are not physically present. Love is the way your kindness reminds me that power means nothing if the heart forgets how to be human. Sometimes I imagine this letter traveling across distance and time, carried by the same invisible thread that pulled you into my life, and I imagine you reading these words slowly, perhaps smiling softly, perhaps pausing when certain sentences touch something deep inside you. And I want you to know that every word comes from a place of honesty that does not perform for applause, that does not dress itself in perfection, that simply stands bare and sincere. Because if I am asking you for a lifetime, then you deserve the truth of who I am, not the polished image the world sees, but the man who sometimes doubts, who sometimes wonders if he is doing enough, who sometimes wishes he could freeze moments just to live inside their warmth a little longer. I want to wake up in a life where mornings are not rushed, escapes into obligation, but gentle beginnings shared with you, where sunlight finds us in quiet conversations and small smiles, where even ordinary days feel meaningful simply because they are lived together. I want to build a home that does not rely on walls, but on trust, patience, laughter, forgiveness, and mutual respect, a place where both of us can lay down our armor at the door and breathe freely without pretending. A place where love grows stronger not because life is easy, but because we choose each other even when life tests us. And I want to walk beside you through seasons of joy and seasons of challenge, knowing that neither of us stands alone when storms arrive. I promise you not perfection but presence, not a flawless story but a faithful one. Not endless certainty, but unwavering commitment. I promise to listen even when words are difficult to find, to protect your peace as carefully as I protect my own honor, to celebrate your dreams as if they were my own, to stand beside you, not above you, to grow with you instead of away from you, to learn your silence as deeply as your laughter, and to choose you not only in moments of happiness, but in moments when patience becomes the greatest form of love. There is a quiet magic in imagining a future where our lives intertwine naturally, where shared memories slowly fill invisible shelves of the heart, where inside jokes become small treasures, where familiar routines become comforting rituals, where your presence becomes the definition of home, no matter where the world carries us. And sometimes, when I think about that future, my heart grows so full that words struggle to contain it. Years of doubt, distance between us, silent misunderstandings, heavy unsaid words. I grew quiet. You grew worried. Walls grew taller. Love grew patient. Hope grew tired, but never left. One dark evening, rain was falling. Streets were empty. Hearts were loud. Eyes were wet. Hands were shaking. I said sorry. You said always. Tears fell freely. Arms wrapped tight. Fear slowly faded. Love stayed strong. We chose again. Not perfection, but commitment. Not easy roads, but honest steps. Not forever promises, but today effort. We built slowly, brick by brick, trust by trust, smile by smile, dream by dream, heart by heart. Your happiness became my goal. Your pain became my fight. Your dreams became my mission. I stopped asking what love gives. I started asking what I give, because loving you changed my meaning, not just feelings, but daily choices, not just words, but constant effort, not just staying, but growing together. When world shakes, I hold you. When storms rise, I shield you. When doubts speak, I silence them because you matter, because you tried, because you stayed. When leaving easier, when silence safer, when giving up simple, you chose me again and again. So I choose you again and again. In calm days, in broken nights, I used to think anything was love enough, but love taught anything is easy, everything is brave, everything is patience, everything is forgiveness, everything is showing up, even when tired, even when scared, even when unsure. So for you, I give everything, not perfect love, but loyal love, not flawless heart, but faithful heart. And if someday time grows heavy, and steps grow slow, and voices grow quiet, and hands grow tired, still I stay. Still I choose. Still I try. Still I fight. Still I love. Still I believe. Still I remain. Because love changed when I met you. Because meaning changed when you stayed. Because life changed when hearts met. So now I know anything was easy. Everything is love. And for you, I give everything without counting cost. Morning felt empty until you smiled. Sun felt warmer. When you laughed, road felt shorter. When you walked, I searched years for quiet peace, for steady hands, for honest hearts, but found only passing shadows. Then you arrived, without warning, with gentle chaos and fearless care. You changed everything, without trying. I spoke little. You understood much. I hid pain. You saw. I wore masks. You saw me. We shared coffee, shared silence too. Both felt precious. Both felt healing. Both felt ours. Both felt safe. Days grew busy, but love stayed. Nights grew long, but hope stayed. World kept turning, but we stayed. I learned patience from waiting smiles. I learned strength from your faith. I learned kindness from your touch. Sometimes I failed. Sometimes you cried. Sometimes we fought. Sometimes we broke, but never left. Never stopped choosing. Anger passed slowly, but love waited. Pride fell quietly, but care remained. Storms went loudly, but peace returned. You taught me how to stay when leaving tempting, when silence easier, when giving up feels less painful. I held your fears like fragile glass, protected your heart from careless words, shielded your tears from cruel nights. You held my dreams like sacred fire, kept them burning. When hope fading, when courage shaking, when strength missing, we became shelter for wounded souls. We became home for tired hearts. We became light. In dark moments, life felt kinder. When shared slowly, meals tasted better. When shared softly, laughter sounded louder. When shared freely, but fate tested, our brave promise. With heavy distance,